Well, you're half right. It is Richard Dixon and Catherine Kyatt today. Valerie Vining is off today and tomorrow, celebrating her birthday.
Happy birthday, Valerie.
I thought, Tony Curry always had it right. He took the day after his birthday off. That made sense to me. Yeah.
Especially knowing Tony Curry.
Oh, yeah. If
Yeah.
you're going to go out and get absolutely polluted, you may as well make sure you got the next day off. But Valerie thought it'd be more fun, especially if it's nice weather. She's probably going to go do some golfing and stuff, and she's not going anywhere. She's like, I just don't feel like working on my birthday. She and I made a commitment at the beginning of this year. Every stinking year, we leave a lot of vacation on the table. I mean, a lot of vacation. Usually as much as 2 weeks. And
Mm,
so we made a commitment this year. Like, nope, we're going to use every bit of it. Like,
yeah.
we are going to drain the last drop out of our vacation by the end of this year. We will both have taken all of it, and maybe even a couple more days. You know?
Well, and it's the two of you. I remember Leland saying, or maybe you saying that you don't want to have a long extended period off because people will gravitate towards other things in that time that you're gone.
Yeah,
So I get that.
they'll figure out that they can get along without you. That's the real problem.
Right.
We
So,
can't have that.
but at least the two of y'all.
Yeah,
So one can go
yeah,
and do
right,
and have fill-ins.
right.
Well, y'all, and then the other can swap.
That's right. That's the plan. That's what we're hoping for anyway. Now try to live up to our expectations. Monday morning. We
No pressure.
drag her in here on a Monday morning. Hi, Steve. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Oh, fantastic. I'm as well as can be expected under the circumstances. It is foggy as all get out there.
And it's the Monday after the time change of losing an hour.
Yes, that is true. Yeah. That was a bit brutal, but
Yeah.
I went to bed like super early last night, and I think I'm going to make it. I think I'm going to be okay. I have high hopes.
I tried.
My biggest problem is that the dogs are like shocked when I feed them an hour earlier. They're like, "Hey, what's the food doing out now?" Get used to it. It's going to be this way for about the next 8 months.
Yeah.
Well, they should be happy, but instead they're a little like, "What are you up to? What kind of game are you trying to play, mister? We don't trust you." Hey, we got great weather after today. Today we've got a high of 76. We got rain, possibility of hail. Now, when they say that at 5 in the morning, and they say, hey, this afternoon, looks like there might be some hail, you better buckle up there, Buttercup, because it's probably going to happen, at least in some sections of the city.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy about that, and I'll tell you why a little bit later. Maybe I can arrange things so that I'll be less crazy about it. I don't know what it is I'm trying to say. I will say this, tomorrow, we are looking at a high of 80 with cloudy skies, and the same thing is happening on Wednesday, and I don't see any rain in the forecast again in the foreseeable future, which means it'd be a good time to go to Rodney's Marine and talk to them about picking up a boat. I'm talking about a Silver Wave or a Starcraft pontoon or tri-toon that is powered by Suzuki, 5-year warranty, fantastic. Love these guys, love their business, love the fact that every one of them comes with a trailer, in-house financing if you want. Great low monthly payments that you look at and say, I really didn't know I could afford a boat. Now I'm looking at this and I can afford a boat. I'll be damned. If you have a boat already and you're looking for some place to keep it that is not your driveway, Rodney's Marine has got a wonderful, we call it a concierge service. It's really valet. What they do is they bring the boat out, put it in the water for you. They take it back up and they wash it off and they put it away. Basically, the only part of the boating you have to do is the fun part. And that is worth every penny you're going to pay for it. They've got a staff of really qualified people there, very good at what they do. They've got a lot of storage, so hopefully they are not used up yet. You should go ask them about it. It is my friends at Rodney's Marine, Rodney and Kimberly, just wonderful people. And that Suzuki power is unbeatable. You can up-power your boat, too, if you need that. They're very cool. Rodney's Marine, Highway 231 in beautiful Cropwell. Find them online at rodneysmarine.com. Let's dive in and do this, shall we?
And now, it's Dixon and Vining's top 3 things you need to know.
Where to begin? The Iranian women's soccer team might be in a little bit of trouble after they decided not to sing the national anthem at one of their matches in Australia after their fearless leader had been wiped out by Israel. And then they realized, oh, crap, we still have to go back there. And they got on their bus, and they were headed toward the airport, and they were giving the international sign for SOS with their hands, like, somebody help us, we really don't want to go back there. Yeah, probably bad deal for them. And so you've got folks that are now asking Australia, hey, can they just stick around for a while? How about they just stay there until this whole mess is over in Iran? And then, maybe they live there. Maybe they go back home. Maybe whatever it may be. If we can get somebody new in there, it'd be nice, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, ladies. I don't know about y'all, but I think when this bus stops, I'm defecting.
Right. 10 days this has been going on. It seems like longer, doesn't it? Does it?
It really kind of does.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 I mean, because I think it's been nonstop. We went in there and just began hammering them very, very early on a Saturday, and it was a Saturday morning our time, but it was middle of the day over there because we knew exactly when their guys were going to be getting together. We wiped out pretty much their top 40 guys, and now they have named the son of Khamenei as the new leader. And I'm like, congratulations. You're the next guy with a target on his back. You must be so excited about this.
I abdicate my throne.
Yeah. Well, think about this. They didn't think enough of him to actually make him one of the top 40 leaders. He was called the Shadow Prince. And that to me tells me that he didn't really have an active role in government. Suppose he was a gatekeeper for his dad. But if he wasn't in those meetings, there's a reason why he wasn't in those meetings,
Yeah. Yeah.
So, he might be, I don't know, their version of Eric Trump. I'm not really sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
and I wonder, because I don't know, because I've not kept up with this part of it. Did he get named this, or did he apply for this, or did he? I mean,
List your previous 3 jobs. No, he was named to this position after they had a gathering where they were going to discuss the next leader of Iran, and Israel bombed them and killed everybody at that meeting.
Yes.
So then they're like, okay, let's have another meeting, but let's not tell anybody where it's going to be this time. They eventually decided this is the guy. I imagine he'll be around for another 3-5 days, and that'll be that. Jesse Jackson Jr. had a lot to say about Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, and Joe Biden speaking out at his father's memorial service. Jesse Jackson, of course, passed away last month at the age of 84. His memorial service took place over the weekend, and here you had 3 Democratic presidents and 2 one Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton, and Kamala Harris were there. And Jesse Jackson Jr. originally, the day after his dad died, he said, guys, we're going to have some services here. Don't make them political. My dad wasn't political. He ran for the Democratic, nomination for president because he thought he might be able to do some good there. But everybody is welcome. Republicans, Democrats, conservatives, liberals. We want everybody. This is a big tent. He was for the downtrodden. He was largely for himself as well, by the way. And so, I don't turn this into politics. Of course, the very first thing that happens is all 3 of these former Democrat presidents show up, and they get up and they give speeches, and they make it political. Barack Obama feels the need to attack Donald Trump. Our democracy is under attack every day. Really? How? What's going on? What am I missing here? What's under attack? I'm not seeing it. Joe Biden, people, we always talk about how Trump manages to make everything about him. He no matter what it is. Jesse Jackson, a great friend of mine. He and I used to hang out together all the time. I remember one time I told him, okay, it's not about you. Stop it. Joe Biden gets up and talks about how when you have a stutter like he did when he was a child, people think you're stupid. And he feels the need to say this. I'm a hell of a lot smarter than you people. What?
Oh, God.
What? How does that even enter into a conflict? You're eulogizing Jesse Jackson. You feel the need to say that you're a hell of a lot smarter than the people that are attending Jesse Jackson's funeral? What's wrong with you? Oh, my God. And then there was one guy who referred to both Kamala Harris and Hillary Clinton as presidents. I'm like, no. That was not the case. Anyway, like most black funerals, it went on forever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I bet that was painful.
Mhm.
And Jesse Jackson Jr. ought to be pretty pissed. I would be pretty pissed.
Selma police are investigating 2 separate shootings that left a total of 8 people injured over the weekend. 6 people were shot around 1:25 a.m. Saturday in the 1200 block of Alabama Avenue, near the area where the bridge crossing Jubilee is being commemorated over the weekend. Police told the outlet a fight broke out between a group of people and shots were fired around 5:30 p.m. on Saturday while during the Jubilee Festival. 2 more people were shot after a fight broke out near the vendor and performer area The outlet reports police said the victim's injuries are not believed to be life-threatening. Let me just say, way to live down to the expectations, jerks. Seriously? There are a large number of African American people gathered in one place, and they were supposed to be celebrating the crossing of the Edmund Pettus Bridge, Selma, big deal, every year. It's a watershed moment in the civil rights movement, which was a very important movement in the United States of America, and you couldn't stop from shooting each other?
Yeah.
Really?
I haven't seen very much about that either. I saw one person post one thing about it,
Hmm.
and it's kind of surprising.
Hmm. One would
I mean,
expect.
it should be a bigger deal.
One would think,
Yeah.
yes. One would think, but I mean, I'm flummoxed by this because I don't know if you're aware of this or not. There is a large percentage of white people and probably Asians and Hispanic people as well who just think, hey man, every time a big group of black people get together, somebody gets shot. I mean, that's just people believe that, and there's a reason why they believe that. We just saw the reason over the weekend.
There's a large group of a large percentage of black people
Yeah,
that also feel that way.
yeah,
I have friends that will not go down to the classic.
yeah, because they're afraid that there's going to be some sort of gunplay.
Just young, just
Yeah.
younger people getting together,
Mhm.
younger black folks getting together. They're just not going to have any kind of part of that.
Well, this is definitely a case of a handful of bad apples
Yeah.
spoiling a reputation for everybody.
Yeah.
And I want to say to the black community, police yourselves, get that fixed, get that taken care of. You're going to have to start weeding those people out and saying, you people are not welcome here. You can't be here because you can't act civilized. You don't know how to act like you've been somewhere, and it's embarrassing, and you're embarrassing your entire race. Stop it. But so far they haven't done that. So I
Well,
don't know what
instead
to
they
do for 'em.
just, I guess if you can't weed those out, you can distance from them. And
That's
so
what needs to happen.
and that's what
That's all they can do.
what they do.
517 with Dixon and Vining. That is Catherine Kite in for Valerie Vining. E-Tech Communications, etech.cc. Here's the thing about E-Tech. They'll get you 2 phones. They'll get you 200 phones. What are you looking for? They can set you up with that virtual assistant, that automatic call forwarding, everything you want, nothing you don't. And depending on what phone system you're using right now, this voice over IP could save you literally thousands of dollars every month. Get on board. E-Tech Communications, local company, locally owned and operated by a fine gentleman. etech.cc, the place you need to go to get more information. Let's get this show up and lumbering under its own weight momentarily. Hmm. That's Gwen Stefani, no doubt. Am I correct on that? They are beginning a
You got it.
residency at the Sphere in Vegas.
Like, no doubt.
Yeah, no doubt is going to be at the Sphere in Vegas. I didn't know they were that big, honestly.
They're my high school days for
There
me.
you go. Yeah, that's exactly right. I like them. I just didn't realize that they were big enough to fill the Sphere for a residency, man.
Me neither.
You think that? You think you too? You
I
think
imagine
the
Gwen will
Eagles?
probably be doing some solo stuff too.
Yeah, most likely. Bananas. Stop
Oh
it.
God, no.
No,
Stop.
don't do that. She don't want to be no hollaback girl. It is Dixon and Vining, Catherine Kite in for the vacationing Valerie Vining, who will also be off tomorrow. Steve is filling in for her then. I've tried to figure out, you know what we really need to do is figure out a way that we can get somebody else in that chair, and then you can come in here. I don't mean tomorrow, but, for future reference.
Sure.
That's really the way it should work. Remember when, for instance, when Ed would go on vacation, Doc Severinsen would move over into the chair, and Tommy Newsom would be the announcer guy?
I remember that.
See, this is what we need to do is figure out a way that we can make that work. Can we get Tommy Newsom in here? Is he still alive?
That's a real good question. I
Okay.
don't know.
He wasn't really that alive when he was alive, now that I think of it. That was a Johnny Carson joke right there. Someone hold a mirror up to his face, make sure he's breathing.
No, Tommy passed away in 2007.
2007, he's been dead for quite a while. Has anyone told him? Another Johnny Carson joke. Come on, let's keep them coming.
Oh, that's
No?
hilarious.
Okay, stop it. Okay, I got to tell you about my weekend because this was heavy, man. Friday, I went to borrow a truck from my friends at Work Trucks, helping a friend move. I said this is going to be the last time. This is the last move that we're taking place, and then she tells me over the weekend, in a couple of weeks, I'm just going to need like a smaller cargo van. Guess what? Richie's movie company is still in business. So they set me up with this truck. In the past, they have loaned me a truck that's like from Metro Truck Service Rental or, one of these. It's a box truck. If you've ever had Amazon deliver something to your home in one of those big box trucks, tends to be very low to the ground, has shelves inside the back of it, and it's not huge. It's maybe 12 feet or something like that. This time, 16, 18 feet, I want to say. It was really the size of a moving van. It's diesel, and it is 12 feet 7 inches tall. The box of it is. So I'm like, okay, no low bridges. We can't do low bridges. We got to figure out a way around anything like that. And you have to haul yourself up into the cab, which is a great little workout. Every time you get out and every time you get back on again, you basically are stepping up on that step and grabbing that handle and swinging yourself up into the cab. And I thought, oh, my Uncle Jim did this for a living for 45 years. Like, I can't believe that. He did this all the time driving. And you're driving down the interstate, which I basically just set the cruise control for 71 and parked in the right lane and just, went. I'm like, I don't feel comfortable going any faster than that in this thing anyway. It could fishtail. I don't know how it's going to behave. Fortunately, we had really good weather. But it's disconcerting where you're being passed on the left by an 18-wheeler, and I'm at the exact same height as the driver in that vehicle. I can look over and just see right into the cab and be like, oh,
How you doing?
I see you picked up a lot lizard. That's nice. Anyway, go load this thing up. Actually have a couple of other people who do most of the loading for the heavy stuff, which is good because I'm 62 now and I don't really do that anymore. Plus, this townhouse has 3 levels. 3 levels and steep stairs. I was like, not doing it. So get that thing loaded up. And yesterday I turn around and head for home. And I said, I'm not stopping anywhere. I don't want to have to maneuver this thing off the interstate. I don't want to have to try to pull in somewhere for diesel. I'd already filled it up and I was ready to go. So I drive the thing all the way home. 59 going to Chattanooga, by the way, is like glass. It's like butter. It's beautiful. They have paved over or cemented that thing so perfectly. Coming back from
It's a nice
Chattanooga.
change from my history of
Yeah.
that
No,
particular stretch of
coming
road.
back from Chattanooga on 59, it's a goat path, okay?
Oh, so they still haven't fixed that.
They've done nothing coming this way, and I'm just like rattling everywhere, and the shocks are taking me up and down, and I'm flying all over the place, and I'm just holding on to that wheel for dear life. By the time I get back, it was kind of like, I believe it was John Candy in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles when he has to like unhook his hands from the wheel because he'd had such a tight grip on it. All my shoulders, my back, everything, the tension was just overwhelming driving this big truck and just trying to steer that thing when it's full was a gas. So I back it into my driveway and I go inside and I feed the dogs and I take care of the basics, kind of grab the stuff that I had packed and put that where it's supposed to go and whatever. And then I go to take a look at what's going on online so I can kind of catch up and be ready for today. I'm not doing show prep. I'm exhausted. I just don't have it in me. It's been a long weekend and I am done. So I go and I have no internet.
Fantastic.
Oh, no.
I thought, was it a storm? Did a storm knock this out? No. I don't have any flashing clocks here. If a storm had come, it would have knocked the power out at least. Wouldn't knock out the... So I go play with the modem for a while and nothing happening there. And then I go look online using my phone, which I have one bar at my house. It's a full bar, though. It's a wet bar. It's good. And I finally said, well, let me go outside and see if the line is connected. I go out there and I have backed the truck into the AT&T line. And it is like stretched around the corner of the truck. And I'm like, okay, that might be a problem. We may have
Could be
frayed
it.
a little bit or something like that. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and pull forward a couple of feet, see if loosening up the tension on it doesn't help, right? I get in the truck, I turn it on, I put it in gear. It won't go. It won't go forward. I'm like, dude, there's no emergency brake on. It's not. I can hear the wheels in back like trying to go. Won't go. Like, what the hell's going on here? I have no idea. I put it in low 2, low 3. Finally, it snaps loose. Boom, bounces forward. And I realize that wire wasn't just kind of wrapped around the corner of the truck. It was hooked on something back there.
Excellent.
And the AT&T cable was holding that entire truck from going anywhere, which means it's a pretty tough cable, you have to admit.
It was.
Yeah, right up until I yanked it off both the house, along with some of my siding, and the power pole that it was
your
coming
siding-
from.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I went inside and I said, we ain't going to have internet for a while, kids. Let's find something else to amuse ourselves. There's
Yeet.
these things called books. Have you heard about them? Yeah.
One time, a long time ago.
Amazing. Yeah. No, it's printed page, something about movable type, Gutenberg. I didn't know Steve was that prolific. But anyway,
It sounds like you got to do work.
I'm going to be on the horn to AT&T today to say, could you come back and take... Some idiot with a gigantic truck pulled down my line. I had workmen over here. I don't know what happened. It was a nightmare. Yeah, 5:30, Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5. 536, Dixon of Vining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Valerie Vining off, Catherine Kyatt in for today. I was wondering when somebody was going to pick up on this. Danny was the first to say, Richard, your clocks need to be adjusted. Yes, if you listen to the show with any regularity, you know immediately after daylight savings time or after we return to standard time, I'm going to get the time wrong all morning long because the clock that I read is up there and I'm just stupid enough to read it by rote. It is 6:36, not 5:36.
Is the clock over there correct?
It is, yeah, it is actually.
Oh, okay, there you
I could look at that one.
You could, but you don't
No,
generally.
that would make it easy, wouldn't it? I can't have that. Why would we want to make it easy? That's crazy. Donald Trump's favorability rating, his approval rating with his party, is higher than it has been at this point in history with any other president. Now, this is important because I spend far too much time in the cesspool that is X. And because I love to read the negative comments, you know, when people are saying terrible things, that's what the algorithm continues to feed me. They're like, oh, he really loves the anti-Trump stuff. Let's keep giving him that. And so the number of people that I see, and I don't know these people, this is what X just feeds me. But the number of people who say, so many people who voted for Trump are turning against him now. I know so many friends. Oh, I have a friend at work who this, that, and the other thing, and now he's totally against Trump. Oh, he did this and that, and now he hates it because of the tariffs and blah, blah, blah. And I'm always like, does this person have a name? It's funny. You know, everybody seems to know someone, but no one's willing to give a name out. Funny how that works. No, the actual rating is Republicans love Donald Trump more than any president's own party supporters have loved him at this particular point. That, according to CNN's Harry Enton poll, which found that at this point in his second term, Trump's GOP approval sits at a remarkable 86%. Former President Barack Obama and George W. Bush were both at 77%. Strong approval within their own parties is now at 53% for Trump, again higher than Obama and Bush, whose strong approval ratings were 48 and 47%, respectively. This approval comes despite other polls showing a majority disapproval of Trump's strike on Iran, which I have to question. I'm not sure people actually feel that way, that there is a, at one point I saw a poll that said only 27% of people approve. And then like 2 days later, I saw one that showed that well over 50% of people, between 50 and 60. I was like, who's doing these polls and what are they asking?
Yeah. The only people that I see really having an issue with it are very, very hardline libertarian.
Yeah. You're Rand Paul's, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And the libertarian in me does not like to see the conflict, but I cannot help but see the women ripping off their hijabs and dancing in the streets and all the dancing going on all over the world within the Iranian communities.
Yep.
So happy about this. It's like, I like it.
Doing the Trump
how-
dance.
yeah.
They're loving the Trump dance.
Yeah. Gotta love it for them.
You know, I think there's a whole 2 generations probably of people who do not know that if you go look up Iran pre-1979, you will find a group of very Western-dressed people, girls in short skirts, on college campuses. They're getting an education.
Yeah.
They're in the workforce. Iran was more Persian than Muslim, and it was a very forward-thinking society. The Shah was trying very desperately to bring it in line with Western values. And then, of course, he got sick and he lost power and he came to the United States and there was a big upheaval. And then you had Khomeini and American hostages and so on and so forth. But I think there's just a huge number of people. I mean, think about this. 1979, when that happened, I was 16. So, you know, anybody younger than me, especially anybody 10 years younger than me, only 52. That's still, you're middle-aged at that point. They have no recollection of this. They have no idea that Iran was once a forward-thinking, great country that had universities and businesses, and it essentially just became a wasteland after the Islamic Revolution.
Yep.
And they were okay with that. They loved that. They thought it was not the people. The leaders, of course. The people want to go back to what was. They, and to live in a society where you can say, hey, listen, you want to continue to wear the hijab, you want to pray 5 times a day, you want to make sure that you're at the mosque with great regularity. No one is going to stop you. But we're not going to make everyone do that. They don't have to if they don't want to. If women want to wear dresses, they can wear dresses. If they don't want to cover their heads, they don't have to cover their heads. You don't have to like it, but that's the price of living in a free society. And that is what we're trying to get to here. And I don't know that it's going to happen because it really is going to call for an upheaval from the inside. They're going to have to do it themselves. We're not in the nation-building business any longer. Nor should we be.
No, we shouldn't be.
I thought Afghanistan was a giant cluster. I thought going in was wise. But I still believe the day after Barack Obama announced the death of Osama bin Laden, it should have been, pack it up, boys, we're going home. Because we'd achieved what we wanted to achieve here, was to get the guy who had done it.
Yeah.
And if we thought that we were going to somehow train the Afghanis to defend themselves and hold off the Taliban, we were clearly living in a fantasy world. We were there for 20 years. We achieved none of that. The Taliban swept back through that country in a matter of days and took back over again because Afghans didn't love freedom enough to fight for it, you know? And I look at that and go, we left you all the weapons necessary. We certainly gave you the know-how, but none of you were willing to actually step up and do what needed to be done. Oh, well, put the hijabs back on. Here we go. It's Taliban again. Sorry, Gladys, you're not going to be going to school any longer. Gladys, that's a good Muslim name, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
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 A lot of Muslim women named Gladys.
Mm-hmm.
Nonetheless, we were just looking at Donald Trump talking about Cuba, saying that there's going to be a big change coming to Cuba. Okay. If he somehow is responsible for free and fair elections in Venezuela, for facilitating but not creating a regime change in Iran, and Cuba being overthrown and going back to being a capitalist-free society, this would be the most transformative president, certainly of my lifetime. Yeah. Probably the most transformative since FDR, and he only counts as transformative because of World War II. His economic ideas were garbage. I mean, the man was basically a socialist when you get right down to it. Yeah. But he presided over World War II, and so that's what made him a super transformative president. Other things, as long as we're making large, sweeping moves here, Donald Trump, how about you get us out of the UN? I mean, clearly they're superfluous.
Great.
I mean, we just went into Iran, didn't even check with them.
Yeah.
Didn't talk to them, didn't ask permission, and then after we did it, we just went like, oh yeah, by the way, we're doing this. We don't need your opinion on the subject, you know? Yeah. And continue, get us out of the UN, and then see if you can figure out how to take that piece of soil back that they're on and go, you guys can go to The Hague now. You're useless. They're useless.
They are. That would, I didn't even think about that. That'd be amazing.
Big and sweeping.
Yeah.
I mean, Donald Trump is not afraid of the big idea. Huge ideas, fantastic ideas. They're all my ideas. Melania had one or two. 5:45 with Dixon and Vining on Talk 99.5 and Talk995.com. Excuse me, 6:45. You heard me. Flipsy's Furniture. 1811 Crestwood Boulevard in beautiful Irondale and on Highway 31 in Hoover across from the Galleria next to 2nd and Charles. They just had a grand opening on Friday. I mean, they have been open for a couple of weeks there in Hoover, but they had the big grand opening and they gave away a bunch of stuff. I want you to stop by, take a look at the store. If you're shopping for furniture in Hoover, you know there's a number of stores you can go to. Find out why Flipsy's is so different from these other stores. When we say designer furniture at wholesale prices, that's not just a catchy slogan we came up with. You can go ahead and look at some of the other places there. You know their names. And then go to Flipsy's and go, well, they have the same stuff here, but it's less. How is that possible? Don't ask questions. You don't need to know. All you need to know is that it's less expensive and it's the same stuff and it's great. You're going to love your experience at Flipsy's. 12 months, same as cash. White glove delivery, get that. You are going to want that. Pay the little bit of money it takes to get the white glove delivery. You are going to love every second of that. And don't forget about their store in Irondale with more in the basement. Great stuff. They've got area rugs down there. Lots of good stuff to look at. Flipsy's Furniture. You can find them online. Flipsy, spelled just like it sounds. Flipsysfurniture.com. Flipsysfurniture.com. DesignerFurniture.com. Designer Furniture, wholesale prices $646. Back in a moment. Norman Greenbaum. Hello, Norman. I thought you'd be taller. Don't really run across a guy named Greenbaum singing songs about Jesus very often. That's not a big thing, really.
Hey, whatever gets you the money that you need to make it in the singing world.
I got to tell you, he's made quite a bit off of this one. Still getting used everywhere. We're still playing it for the love. Dixon of Vining, Catherine Kite in for the vacationing Valerie of Vining. Thanks for hanging out with us. 13 hours of live and local programming every day. Download our app and listen wherever you like. You can also text us from that app. You can call us from that app. You can see us on video. If you've ever wondered what Catherine Kite looks like, you go to Real Talk 995 TV on Talk 995 on YouTube.com, and you can take a look there and be astounded. And you say, how does Richard keep ending up with all these good-looking women? And the answer is money. No, it's not. I have none of that. Mike says, by the way, it is 6:51. Mike here. Good morning, all. I have a friend that knows as much about politics as I know about the surface of Pluto, yet he claims that Trump hates America. It's incredible how social media platforms influence people that have absolutely no idea what's going on. Love the show. This is true. This is absolutely true. I have been keeping an eye on X now for, well, ever since it became X. And Elon Musk began allowing people to pretty much say whatever they wanted, with the understanding that there were going to be community notes that followed this. Right now, you're getting a lot of AI video up there that is ridiculous, stuff that you can look at and go, I know that didn't happen. Or many's the time you have to ask this question: who's holding the camera?
Oh,
Yeah. When you see one of these goofy things that happen, whatever it may be, and you go, who's holding the camera? Why doesn't the cameraman step in and help that person? That's what we really need to know. It's all lies, but you have to have some judgment to know and understand that. But we had, I don't know if it's still running right now, but we had basically a promo. It was a little snippet of Leland's show in which he was saying, these people hate America. They hate America. And I used to hear that and go, I don't think that's necessarily true, you know? I mean, I didn't like Barack Obama, but I didn't hate America. I prayed for Barack Obama to guide the country correctly in the right way, to do a better job of looking after this country and being a good steward, and that eventually he would be replaced by somebody who was going to do a better job, you know? And eventually that is what happened when Donald Trump won his first term. But at no point did I ever wish ill upon America. Go look at the cesspool that is X. You literally have people rooting for Iran.
Yeah.
Not foreign people, American people.
Yeah.
Rooting for Iran, rooting for them to kill American soldiers and sailors. CNN won't get off the fact that a 7th soldier has died now. This was from the original drone attack that took place in Saudi Arabia. We originally heard that was Kuwait, but apparently it was Saudi Arabia. And they're just like, oh, no, we've lost another, 7. Oh, this is a nightmare. Oh, my God. And I'm like, how many Iranians do you think we've killed? 7,000? 70,000? I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot.
The majority of people that I see, and look, I mean, I'm not there, but the majority of people I see excited about what could be and what has happened and what could be. The people that I see not excited about that are Americans that are not excited about that. I don't see that coming out of many other countries at all.
Yeah. No, that's true.
Yeah.
They all seem to be pretty upbeat and positive about what's going on. Bill Maher over the weekend, and I don't watch his show because I don't have HBO, but I usually catch clips of it later. And he was on and was explaining just the scourge that is fundamentalist Islam and why it is such an incredibly terrible theocracy under which to live. Because, well, if you're gay, for instance, did you know that Saudi Arabia so far has beheaded 18 people in the month of February? 18 people in 28 days. Beheaded 18 people. We used to get upset when ISIS did that. Now you look at Saudi Arabia and go, aren't you our friends?
Yeah.
And you're beheading. And in some cases, the crime was gayness.
Yeah.
They caught the gay. And so they had to be beheaded. And you're like, wow. In some cases, it was, something more severe. But beheading is not really the answer to almost any of your problems. There are some people in this country that could use their heads lopped off for sure. But not 18 in a month,
Yeah.
That, talking about what is acceptable, what is not acceptable, women being allowed to be beaten, women not being able to leave their homes without having a male family member, either a husband or a brother with her, women not being allowed to get an education, women not allowed in the workforce.
Can't drive.
Recently, they finally gave women the vote in Saudi Arabia, but they still can't drive, so someone's going to have to get them to the polls, apparently. I mean, this is one of those situations where you look at it and say, stop pretending that this is okay. Why is it, liberal Democrats, you're concerned about human rights all over the world, except in Muslim countries?
Yep.
Why are you not able to step up and look at the people of Iran and say, yes, we should free them from the bonds that these horrible theocratic dictators have put them in? They deserve better. They're our brothers and sisters. And, if they want to remain loyal to Islam and they really do believe they're going to get 72 virgins or whatever the case may be, fine, set up a society where that's acceptable, like the United States of America, or, make sure that you don't have to follow those rules. That's not a big stretch. Yet for some, I guess it's because the hypocrisy would just be too much. They can't bring themselves to speak out against Islam because the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah.
And right now, you got an awful lot of liberals in the United States of America for whom America is their enemy. I keep seeing one thing popping up over and over again, and it's just, look how stupid America is. We're bombing these pictures of planes on the runway in Iran. They just put pictures of planes. They just painted plane outlines, and that's what we've been dropping bombs on, and we're so stupid. And I'm like, do you honestly believe that the United States isn't technically savvy enough to know the difference between an actual plane and a painting of a plane? Do you really believe that? Somebody put that up, posted that online at some point, and everybody else grabbed it and ran with it and just like, oh, look how dumb America is. We're bombing pictures of planes on runways. Well, A, here's the good news. B, no, we're not. B, even if we were, do you understand how that makes that runway inoperable for almost eternity? Yeah, congratulations. Maybe you didn't take a plane out, but I can tell you that runway is not going to be used anytime soon because there's no way they'll be able to fill in those gaps and holes and get that thing back up to speed. And by the way, we have air superiority anyway, so it doesn't matter. We'll just keep dropping bombs on whoever we want to drop bombs on until they cry uncle. And they say, well, we're never going to cry uncle, in which case we say, okay, well, then we're just going to kill you all.
So I'm so glad that I don't get on X that much. So people are actually like thinking that the U.S. is bombing non-existent
Yes.
pictures of planes on run, like that they took the time to like paint a plane on a runway.
Yes.
Somebody actually took the time.
When-
Somebody thinks that somebody took the time to paint a runway.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
These are the same people that, by the way, I saw this on Saturday morning, I think it was, that said, I have unconfirmed reports that Benjamin Netanyahu has been killed in a bombing. No, he hasn't.
No, not even close.
You know, the funny thing is you're on the internet. Maybe go find a reputable source and check it.
Yeah. You could do that, but you're not going to. Yeah. And every single time we do something, like when we took out the Soleimani, the ship, or when we took out the ship that was in the Indian Ocean, which was supposed to be their crown jewel, they're like, oh, you're going to be so sorry. It's like, really? Do we look sorry to you? Do we look sorry? You know who looks sorry? You people look sorry because your country is about to resemble a parking lot. And we're doing this and we're trying very hard not to hit the innocent civilians because we're not at war with Iran, the people. We're at war with Iran, the government, trying to free the people. So, I just love the fact that they keep rattling that saber. Oh, you're going to regret that. I don't think so. I got to be honest with you. Don't see the regret coming. Think we're going to be fine.
Well, from all accounts, we actually do a great job to try to get civilians out, to get them noticed,
Yeah.
to get them away. So
Well, we sent a call to prayer, basically hacked their call to prayer on day one and said, hey, get inside, shelter in place. We're about to bomb the snot